Andie Anderson could potentially be the most goated rom-com character of all time. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days is absolutely iconic and undoubtedly one of the best rom-coms, period, ever made. Ever. And I think it was the first time I had ever seen the enemies to lovers trope come to life on screen. On the surface, Andie Anderson can seem conniving, vindictive, calculated, but her character not only goes through transformation, but a full journey. Today, we're going through Andie Anderson's path from cool girl to normal girl and dissecting the decisions she made to find her true desires. Also, hi, I'm Angie. I talk about movies, TV, nostalgia, mostly, which is why we are spending time talking about one of the most standout protagonists in rom-com history. So, Andie Anderson is the it girl of Composure magazine. Her how-to column is gaining crazy traction with the public, and her boss really wants her to excel. She's hot, confident, smart, savvy, and knows how to get what she wants. To the naked eye, she's a pick-me girl, but there's a key element that makes Andie so likable right from the jump. The line between cool girl and pick-me girl is so incredibly thin that to the untrained eye, you could easily mistake the two. The cool girl balances femininity with masculine traits. Rosamund Pike's cool girl monologue from Gone Girl is a perfect reference for this.
Cool girl is hot. Cool girl is gay. Cool girl is fun. Cool girl never gets angry at her man. She only smiles in a chagrin-loving manner.
Basically, she says that it's actually very hard work to appear chill and low maintenance for the sake of pleasing a man. While this is a super intense monologue, Pike's character isn't villainizing the cool girl herself, rather highlighting the external pressures that a lot of women have to go through to exude effortlessness for the sake of making men comfortable. And when Andie meets Ben, she is the ultimate cool girl. She's somehow open yet mysterious. She's flirty yet sarcastic. She's a Knicks superfan who works for the fastest growing women's fashion magazine. You know, talk about duality.
Interested?
Perhaps.
Hungry?
Starving.
Leaving?
Now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She presents this laid-back attitude on her first date and acts as though she doesn't care whether the relationship develops or not. And she really doesn't care at this point. The only reason she wants the relationship to develop is for her article. Now, the pick-me girl can have these traits, but it's often for show, centering men, and making sure to degrade other women or competition in the process. That's the key component of a pick-me. For better illustration, I have written it out on a whiteboard for you. The Venn diagram of the cool girl and pick-me girl is damn near a circle. Okay, there's all these commonalities, and the most important differentiator of the pick-me girl is that she views other women as competition. But it's like so close to being the same thing. But it's not. It's not. And this is the key differentiator. Andie never goes out of her way to put other people, especially women, down. Even when her best friend Michelle is certifiably acting unreasonable in her dating life, she continues to be supportive and understanding, even encouraging Michelle to try again and be herself, despite Michelle's history of being overbearing in her early days in a relationship. Subscribe if at any point you have fallen victim to being either a cool girl or a pick-me girl. I stand in solidarity with you. It was me. And I think that's okay, as long as, you know, we kind of leave that behavior and that sentiment and attitude in our adolescent years. I think that's okay. I think it's a part of growing up into womanhood. I hope that we have learned to be kind and uplifting to women at all times, just like Andie Anderson. So now that we know what a cool girl and pick-me girl is, why is Andie Anderson acting so bizarre through this entire movie? How did we even get here? We first have to understand her best friend and coworker, Michelle, played by a young Catherine Hahn. Michelle represents everything women do wrong in a relationship. When we meet her, she's late for work, sobbing in her bed over a man, and we find out that they had been seeing each other for 7 days. Oh, I just feel for her. You know what I mean? Like, I know that feeling. And it is ridiculous, but like we all have been there. So you can't, like, I'm not laughing at her. I'm laughing with her in solidarity. In those 7 days, Michelle told this man that she loved him, talked about their future kids, called and hung up like 20 different times with like no caller ID on, but like, come on, it was you, girl. Oh. And just generally kind of overshared about herself and her life and her interests. Andie and all of her coworkers at Composure magazine agree that this is a little bit insane behavior. And these very mistakes are a commonality between most women in the early days of pursuing a man. And they determine that those things are exactly how you lose a guy. The entire situation becomes the blueprint of Andie's exploration. The challenge becomes, if you can date and lose a guy in 10 days, write about it, and turn your how-to column into something that every woman in the nation has to read, then you can write, you being Andie, can write
whatever you want to.
Moving forward. Keep that in mind because we're going to revisit that concept later. From Michelle's inspiration comes the artificial, crazy girl version of Andie.
I'm gonna limit myself to doing everything girls do wrong in relationships. Basically, everything we know guys hate. I'll be clingy, needy.
Be touchy-feely.
Yeah.
Ooh, call him in the middle of the night and tell him everything you had to eat that day.
What's wrong with that?
When she meets Benjamin Barry, the ultra-masculine sports advertising guy on a mission, she hooks and reels him in with her intriguing cool girl personality, only to switch up on him and exhibit some crazy girl behavior over the next week and a half. In the 10 days, I mean, she went crazy. It's such a fun, let's be honest, like these things are a little bit crazy. However, like, but it just makes it so fun to watch on screen. What does she do? She made Ben get her a Diet Coke in the final minute of an NBA Finals game, forced Ben to see Sleepless in Seattle, talked and cried through it, causing Ben to get into a physical altercation in the movie theater. She showed up to boys' night. She showed up to boys' night with cucumber sandwiches. I didn't know what a cucumber sandwich was, but that's what she did. Named Ben's Princess Sophia, got them a shared dog and matching Burberry outfits, introduced a love fern representing their love, communicated with his mom and built a rapport behind his back, and brought them to couples counseling. This is all in like a 9-day span of time, because on the 10th day, like, things get crazy. I just admire her for even facilitating that.
You don't want to see our children?
We don't have children.
That's hilarious. For the sake of the success of her article, she acts over obsessive, clingy, insecure, and deeply emotional. Once again, replicating how Michelle acted towards Mike in 7 days. I mean, this behavior is equally, if not more exhausting than the cool girl facade that Andie had when she first met Ben. From redecorating his entire apartment to public emotional outbreaks, this took a toll on Andie until finally it all came crashing down. But like most things, you have to make a mess before being able to clean up effectively. Spoiler alert, in traditional rom-com fashion, the boy ends up with the girl and they live happily ever after. But the true resolution, in my opinion, was watching Andie find herself, really contemplate her values, and feel the freedom in going against the grain. When Andie is originally presented with the how to lose a guy in 10 days idea and opportunity from her boss, she has tunnel vision. She's ruthless and sadistic and doesn't consider the fact that there would be consequences to her behavior. She was promised that if she popularized her column to the masses, she would be able to write about whatever she wanted to write about. Politics, world affairs, the environment, human rights, and in her words, something that actually matters. Because of this, she's dead set on succeeding. She wants to grow in her career. She wants to pour herself into her work and stop writing about pant sizes and shoes. But her feelings towards the entire experiment change when she meets Ben's family in Staten Island, and Ben's mom reveals that he had never brought a girl home before. She realizes that he might actually be garnering feelings for her, and she realizes that she might be actually garnering feelings for him. They sit on the back porch playing hours of card games. He takes her out on the motorcycle and they're going to his favorite childhood spots, and they get to know each other in a very real and raw way. She hands in her How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days article and gets a gleaming review from her boss. But when she realizes that the promise made to her was broken and she actually would never get the opportunity to talk about something real, she makes the decision to walk away from the magazine and pursue her goals elsewhere. For someone who wanted nothing more than her boss's validation, I think that walking away after finally getting that validation took a lot of courage. She comes to the realization that she doesn't want to hustle and sell her soul for a job that is unrewarding. And ultimately, she's able to let Ben in to get to know the real her without the pressure of being this like ultra standoffish cool girl or the incredibly weird crazy girl. And that is how they're able to get together at the end of the movie on the Manhattan Bridge.
You call my bluff?
You bet I am.
Kissing in front of their love fern. Here are my closing thoughts. Some rom-coms are made to be this unrealistic fantasy escape. Hot Frosty and Merry Gentlemen, I'm looking at you. But How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days actually has so much heart that goes beyond the romance itself. To me, it's a story about recognizing self-sabotage, finding yourself, and getting rid of your own ego. If you like this video, please. And let me know in the comments if you agree with anything I said today. I've seen some discourse online saying that Andie Anderson was actually super toxic or something. And like, no, I ride for my girl. Also, I think character breakdowns are my favorite videos to film. So if there are any iconic characters from the 90s, early 2000s that you want me to dissect, please let me know. And yeah, you should watch this video. I think if you liked this video, which I hope you did, I think you'll like this video, you know? So I'll see you in the next one. Okay. Love you. Bye.